Hey, Elisa, and hello, world. We are going to make a blog post. I've done a little bit of background stuff, for example, in the templates and the theme builder. We've got the blog archive and the blog post templates built out. So those two things are ready to go. Basically, we've got what's called a single. So that's going to be the individual post itself. And then the archive is the page is going to have a grid of all of the singles with their title, the metadata, which would be like the author, the date, the subject, and the featured image, that kind of stuff. So these things are built. I haven't really styled them or customized them. I put them each in their own container that should match the containers on the rest of the site. Of course, all the colors and fonts and everything are going to be good to go. They're going to match everything else that's already built. But we kind of need to build a few of these to see how they're going to look, and then I can go ahead and restyle them. But for now, we're going to go to posts, and either all posts, we can check and see what we've got, which is just that one. But we're going to add a new post. You can also just get to add new post right here from the left sidebar. But add new. We're going to go ahead and just build this one out real quick. So you can go through these if you want as you're building, but I'll show you just kind of a rough of how we're going to do that. So basically, we've got a title here. So our title is going to be new blog post, and we'll call it a test. What we want to do, what I usually do is I'll start with this, and I think I'll just have you build in, this is called the Gutenberg editor. I'll have you just start with this. If you don't like this format, I'll make custom post types for you with Elementor, and we can do those in there. I've done this for other clients, and I've built like drag and drop little post template blocks, but this is the Gutenberg editor, which I think is going to get us to what you're looking for. And this is built in WordPress core, so there isn't really anything that's going to change with updates and things like that. This is all going to be kind of baked in and good to go. But what I recommend to clients is give it a title, and then we're going to work down this right-hand sidebar. So just a little tutorial on these. Visibility, these are going to go public, publish immediately. If you want to, you can actually give it a date and time, like, hey, I want this to come out Friday morning at 8 a.m. You can go ahead and program that in. Post format is standard. We have all these other options, but standard is our default. If you wanted to post just a thing is just a video, or a gallery is going to have all just a stack of images. If you're using anything other than standard, I'm going to go back to offering, let's build those as custom Elementor templates. These don't really matter. We're not putting your posts on the front page. They're in a menu item under blog, and I already built that and inserted it in the menu. The permalink is basically, it's just, I may go through, I haven't set this up yet. Permalink should be grabbing the title and putting it on there. This is giving it some kind of page ID, which I want to change. I'll change that. Categories, this is pretty important. Don't ever leave anything uncategorized. You always want to give it some categories so we know where it's going. We can track things that way, and if you wanted to add multiple categories like new show or something like that, we can also choose which ones to display in the archive or exclude ones from the archive. Tags, this is more for internal tagging to find things. This isn't really necessarily hashtags like you'd use on Instagram. It's for searching inside the site. Featured image, we're always going to use a featured image. We can make these either display or not display. Again, I kind of roughed the single and the archive templates, so they're there and ready to go, and we can edit these. Excerpt, this is optional. Basically what it's going to do is if you don't put something in here, it's going to grab the first 25 or 35 or however many words you put in your text block up here, and that is going to be, I can edit that as well. Discussion, allow comments, allow pingbacks and trackbacks. I'm assuming you're going to want comments on there. What we'll do though is we will make it so that wherever it is, I don't think the blog's running yet necessarily. Oh, comments. We're going to have comments set to moderation, so that way you're going to have to go in and check and approve comments, because I don't want people just to be able to like just throw 1,000 comments on your site. That's really not cool. Kind of gets out of control that way. Post attributes default template, just go ahead and leave that. Sidebar, we're going to have customizer setting, which is already set up and ready to go from in here, but customizer setting, we're going to want right sidebar. I think it's default to right sidebar already, so I think we can just go ahead and leave those two. This stuff, don't worry about. Mostly concerned about setting the featured image. If you want a custom excerpt, that goes there, and then putting it in a category. This I will fix. But let's go back over here. So start writing or choose a block. So basically we have a little text editor that's already set up here. If you did want to maybe start with a gallery or an image, there's that. This also is to add a block if you want to grab a different block. So maybe you want just a paragraph. Maybe you want to start with a heading. This would be like a subheading and then a paragraph. I don't really have any content for you, but let's go and we'll start with the subheading, and we'll give that like an H3, so it's like the next size down. New earring. New earrings. And then basically we're just going to go, okay, we want another block. We're going to add a paragraph over here, and I'm just going to grab some text to throw in there. This right here looks good. I'm off screen. I'm trying to do this on the fly. I should probably set these up a little bit better, but go ahead and put some Ipsum text in there. And then again, we're like over here and we want another, I don't like this editor, but that's ready to go. And then I want a new block. Where's my new block? Plus new block, maybe a list. And so now we're going to have that. We're going to add another block and just say we're going to add another image. Just grab something out of the media library again. We use that one. We'll use a secondary. Make sure you have some alt text in here, just a rough description on what it is. And there's that. And that now, this entire section here is considered the post content, and that is going to be automatically pulled into the single once we get to that point. Let's go ahead and publish this. Do you want to publish this? And then again, it gives us these options. Private, only admins and editors, password protected if someone needs to sign in to see this, but I'm imagining you're going to want public here. Publish immediately, and suggestion, add tags. New earrings. Gemstones with 1M, just for example. Comma is giving us a new one, but I'm going to go ahead and publish this, and then I want to go ahead and look at it. Oh, okay, so our new post address, that's interesting. So it does say this is the formatting that I asked for when I set that up in here, titles and metas. The or excuse me, the permalink is actually showing. Is it going to show us the whole thing? Yeah. So it's basically it's showing its title of the address or of the site address, and then the post name, which is what we want. But we're going to go ahead and look at that. So I'm going to go and grab this page from Chrome that was in my other window. Let's go ahead and open this up and real quick, just jump home for a second and go back to the blog. And like I said, this hasn't really been styled yet. This isn't going to work. But basically, I'm going to style this archive here. So it's going to have the title, the little meta info. Here's our excerpt, and then read more. And we can jump over to the single. And here we go. It's basically, I've got these set up so it looks similar to how the items look in the shop. Because this is also considered like the archive, and then this would be the single. So I tried to sort of grab the format that we had over there. So we've got the image in this column, and then all of the readable stuff over here. When we go back to the blog, want to have, I'm going to change this formatting. So we'll have the sidebar like we have on contact and the about pages. I'll fix that. But basically we'll have like the featured image and then whatever content you have just running down the side of the page there. And then we've got previous and next. And this was the test one that comes with WordPress. But I will fix up the styling on that. But that's a pretty straightforward little blog for you. Of course, like I said, this is completely customizable and expandable, and if you want to go and make it really custom, I'll make you some custom templates in Elementor and make a separate tutorial on how to insert those and change out the content, because those will come with built-in content. But I hope this was helpful, and like I said, I'll go ahead and restyle this archive because this isn't quite gonna cut it. I'm going to change that. Okay, cool. Talk to you soon.